Well, the red trend continues. Eventually, I think maybe we'll get off this, but for now, we are in a slump. Hey, fellow traders, this is Black Coffee Trader. Today is Thursday, October the 2nd. And yeah, as you can see, we had another pretty nasty red day. It could have been worse. It wasn't horrible, but just over too many trades, too many losing trades, one winning trade on the day, 9 total. Just not very good. Not very good at all. Unfortunately, did lose these 4 Tradeify accounts, so those 4 are gone. Unfortunately, that is not fun. I was a little bit concerned that I might lose those, and we ultimately did. And to be fair, I think after those were gone, I probably freed up a little bit mentally. So I think I was trading out of really trying to make sure I don't lose those, and that's ultimately what happened. We did lose them, but anyway, so I don't know if this top one will survive. We've got about 600 in drawdown. I'm not going to worry about it. I am taking it along for the ride, and if it can survive, great. If not, so be it. So, but yeah, let's look at some stats for today. So here are the numbers for today, down 27, 9% win rate. Average win to loss was great, 3. Average win, the one win was 85. Well, actually, I think might have showed 2 wins because some of the fills I had today on add-ins were not very good, and so I think I had like the one time, and obviously I'm copy trading all 19, but I think one time I had maybe 2 or 3 out of the 19 that showed like a couple $1 profit. So that's why this is a little bit skewed, because that winning trade I had today was actually, I want to say it might have been, I guess I'm not sure. We'll look at it. But anyway, average win was 85, average loss was 27. So the problem is this. There's just too many losing trades, kind of the death by 1,000 cuts. And on the week, let's just look at this week. Our numbers this week are pretty bad, down 10 grand, 12% win rate, 2 on the average win to loss, but 77 to 37. The problem is just, again, too many losing trades. So I'm not going to go through every one of them, I think, on TradeZella. I think we'll just look at the actual charts themselves. So the first one was here, and I've had this fail a couple of times recently, where in the morning we'd look above an area where I'm looking for a break and retest, and we were holding this area, and it looked like this was going to go, and it just failed. So that was not a big deal, but it was a small loss to start the day. And then on the Dow Jones, also had one here where we had bounced off the prior day low, and probably should have taken this entry here, didn't take it right away, and then finally did take it on this cut through. And the problem was adding into it. I took the entry here. I think I added into this trade twice. Did get one profit target off here, and then the problem is, as this pulls back, or as I'm adding in, I'm moving my stop up to protect risk. And what it does is it just gives you no bandwidth. So there's no bandwidth, and I got stopped out right there for actually a losing trade. This really was not a winning trade. I marked it up like this just because I was just showing the entry here initially would have been fine had I just left it and waited to add until we got a significant move, because at this point, really from this point, we did go higher. So that part was correct, but just the fact that I added in way too quickly, and I've gotten into a little bit of a bad habit of doing that. So I feel like over the last week, that has definitely hurt me at times, where I'm adding in a little bit quickly, moving my stop up, and then getting wicked out, and then it continues. So I feel like that was a big mistake today that could have made a huge difference. And then lastly on the Dow, I had one up here where we broke above this prior day high, kind of like we did in the morning. Took that entry long, got one off, and I think I did add to this trade as well, and got stopped out there for a small loss, not that big of a deal. Yes, I took a couple on ES, had frustrating in the morning. Here again, kind of like that Dow Jones, took this trade, added in really quickly, and because I had to move my stop down, again, just added way too quickly and got stopped out for a loss on that one. And then this one, was an entry I took. I did not add. I said I'm just going to take it and see if I can get a win. Got down to TP1, and then we just did this move up, took me out, wicked out, and then as you can see, went right back down. So that little move like this was pretty frustrating, and I took the entry in the middle, target there, stopped out there for a break even. So I mean, break even is okay, but just a frustration, just a frustrating day. And this one here was also one where, you know, the direction is long, so it looks like we're going higher. Take the entry as we break this area of support. We break through it, pull back, take the entry, and as soon as I enter, we just boom, go down, take me out. So again, one of those cases where probably had to stop a little bit too tight, and had we left that or had a bigger, you know, some more wiggle room, we could have survived that and got into that trade. So and then I did not take any trades on the NASDAQ. Kind of wish I would have. But the problem that I had with the NASDAQ today is, for the most part, the NASDAQ was trading above the prior day high. This purple line is the prior day high. And by the same token, ES was trading just below the prior day low for pretty much the entire day. And I have had, when those two markets are in that position, it really creates a lot of this wiki stuff. I've really noticed that before, and when that happens, I'm just cautious. I really want to see a big continuation area or a decisive move one way or the other, and I felt like we were getting that here on ES, and I was just wrong. And if you go to the NASDAQ didn't. It was just kind of holding. I mean, we were just kind of holding at this area, and that's why I didn't take anything. But there would have been a nice setup right here if we take that pushing higher. That could have been a nice trade, but. Anyway, I did end up on the Russell. I took one losing trade here, very small loss. We had a rejection of this level, and as we dropped below VWAP, took the entry here. We just kind of stagnated, went sideways, and then as this started to push higher at the same time, the other markets were pushing higher, and I just killed that trade, which I was fine with. And then as we broke above the prior day high, we had two daily highs here, pretty much in the same spot, took the entry long, added right here, and I left my stop. I decided I'm not going to trail this thing tightly. I left it. Now, granted, would have worked because the trade really pushed, but this ended up being about, let me look here. Actually, let's go to TradeZella. We can actually look at this trade. I'm kind of curious what the P&L was on this one. Right here, 85 bucks. So we had an $85 winner. So that was correct. Apparently, I was misseeing something earlier where I thought I had a small win earlier, so that must have been correct on today's date. 27, 9% win rate, 85 and 27, so that must be correct. I was looking at something as I was loading up the trades, and that might have been what I was missing. So that ended up being the best one of the day and the last one of the day, last trade. So that's kind of the silver lining, is we finished on a good note, and we'll take that into tomorrow. So. Yeah, is what it is. Unfortunately, rough day, rough couple of days, but we'll be back at it and see if we can do better tomorrow. So last but not least, don't forget to just remind you guys that the Apex sale did get extended until October the 16th. So I am really, really happy about that, because I do have a couple of evals. I got one that's actually pretty close to being passed, and I really would like to take advantage of this $85 activation fee. So in any case, that's going on until the 16th of October. Glad about that, and again, just appreciate you guys following along. Thanks for supporting the channel, and we'll catch up with you on the next one. Take care, and so long.